NBA insider extraordinaire Adrian Wojnarowski is with us here. Let me give you the numbers. On January 22nd, the Nets were in first place in the East. Since then, they have gone 2-13, but is help now on the way?
Greeny, Kevin Durant's return is imminent to Brooklyn. It could be Monday, Tuesday. They play Toronto back-to-back, Thursday against the Heat. But essentially it's this. It's Kevin Durant waking up one morning, telling Brooklyn, I am ready to play. And I feel ready. He has looked terrific in practice. The expectation is he's going to play this week. Now, Ben Simmons, listen, he won't be back this week. And you look at, we're 12 days away from that March 10th date that everyone in the league is looking at in Philadelphia, Nets Sixers. I know this, that won't be Ben Simmons' debut. They would not put him in that game as a first game. So either he comes back just prior or perhaps just after. But his return is going to come on the heels of Durant. Joe Harris is a bigger question for the Nets. That left ankle, they're trying to avoid having another procedure on it, which would be season-ending. He is back with the team, playing, trying to see if he can play through the pain on this. They do get Goran Dragic back tonight. He makes his debut in Milwaukee, a team that very much wanted to sign him. You know, Goran Dragic, when he got reported to the Nets, he could not wait to get on the court. You know, big reason for him signing with Brooklyn, Steve Nash, their history and relationship. And so they'll start to get that help back tonight with Goran Dragic. But Kevin Durant, expect him back within the next week, perhaps even Monday, Tuesday against Toronto, or Thursday against East-leading Miami.
I mean, it's fascinating when you think about it. Kyrie Irving is only at this moment eligible to play 7 of the remaining 21 games on their schedule after tonight. So the lineups are going to continue to rotate around, and that has been part of the story for this team this year. The Nets have already used 33 different starting lineups this year, and that is going to go up when KD and Simmons and the rest come back. It's already the most in the NBA. Keep in mind, the most starting lineups ever used by any NBA champion in the last 50 years was 30. That was by the Spurs about a decade ago. So they're already trying to do something that has never been done before. And that leads me to this question, Mr. Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
Who is under the most pressure to make this work in Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, for me, it is Kyrie Irving. It is Kyrie Irving. Listen, Kevin Durant is in Brooklyn because of Kyrie Irving. The Brooklyn Nets have struggled because of a decision that Kyrie Irving has made. We can debate until the cows come home whether it was the right decision or the wrong decision, but the reality is that if the Brooklyn Nets had Kyrie Irving available to them all season long, they would not be in this predicament. And Kyrie Irving and his relationship or lack thereof with James Harden is what ultimately forced the trade to happen when it did just over a week or so ago. So all of those things taken into consideration and everything we're looking at involving the Brooklyn Nets, we know what KD's gonna do when he's healthy. We know what he brings to the table, okay? And everybody outside of Ben Simmons, you pretty much know what they bring to the table. Kyrie Irving is the wild card, the X factor, and as a result, that's who I look at.
Pressure, Michael.
He's always the wild card. And he put himself in this position.
Yes.
And it's Kyrie Irving. For all the reasons that Stephen A. just said, look, Kevin Durant has been finals MVP twice, right? And even last year, I mean, he brought glory to the game last year by the way he played in defeat.
Yes.
So it's not KD. And it can't be Ben Simmons. We don't even know Ben Simmons when he's going to get on the floor, even now. You know, there's if, and he doesn't want to play in Philly. I'm already tired of that storyline. So the answer, and by the way, there's some on Steve Nash. And I understand that he's a coach now. It's not like he's got the ball in his hand in the last 5 minutes of a game like when he was so great as a 2-time back-to-back MVP. Yes. But our friend and colleague Kendrick Perkins said this on PTI earlier this week. He said this is going to be a case of leadership where both, and he did mention KD and Steve Nash are going to have to usher Ben Simmons into this, figure out how to shoehorn him in. It's a great point to make, but I'm going to still say, first and foremost, Kyrie.
You said the answer. It's Kevin Durant. And you're right, Kyrie was first. But the pressure is always on the best player. You guys know this. The pressure is on the guy who's going to take the last shot. And the media is going to go to them and say, why didn't y'all get it done? Pressure is going to be on the guy. If they get eliminated in the second round, we're going to be saying, KD's a top 15 player. He left running with the Splash Brothers to go to the Nets to do something special, and this would be another season that didn't happen.
Just because that narrative could potentially be out there, which I brought up weeks ago, it doesn't negate the fact that if Kevin Durant shows up on the court and does what we all know he's capable of doing, but Kyrie's not available, we gonna look at Kyrie. Period. Sorry, Jalen.
The Brooklyn Nets have played 220 games since Kyrie and KD decided to come there. They have been on the floor together for 39 of those 220
Oh, and by the way,
Not quite 20.
the Nets are 4-10 in the 14 games Kyrie's played in this year.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.